Trends in hospitality, environmental aspects, food and beverages. My name is Leia May Gonzaga and my partner is Jericho Ferranculo from BSHM 3-1. First, let's talk about the food and beverage sector. The food and beverage industry includes all the companies involved in the transforming raw agricultural goods into consumer food products. Yung naandito sa food and beverage sector, it means yung mga companies na nagbibigay na nagpo-produce ng products para sa consumer. Halimbawa, yung mga pagawaan ng spaghetti, at kahit ano pang foods na kinukonsume ng mga consumer or used natin para pangkain. And environmental aspects in the food and beverage sector. Meron 4: energy use, water consumption, generation of food waste, and wastewater. First, energy use. The used energy exerted from the equipments in the production to transportation process. Alam naman natin na para makapag-generate or mapagana ang production sa food and beverage sector, kailangan ng energy. Halimbawa, sa pagpapagana ng mga equipments. Ano mga energy yon? Electricity, fuels, coals na ginagamit sa planta. So, for example, this energy use ay nagagamit natin sa kitchen equipments. Halimbawa ay refrigerator, tapos and oven, pinapagana yon ng electricity. Then the stove, it uses gas para mag-produce naman ng apoy para makapagluto. And in the transportation, it uses fuels para naman mapagana yung mga sasakyan kung saan nilalagay ang mga products and beverages na idadalhin naman sa market. Sa mga plants naman, sa mga planta, ginagamit din yon para makikita natin sa mga planta, may makikita tayong mga usok, parang ganon. Ibig sabihin, yun yung energy used na ginamit nila, yung mga burned fuels, para mapagana ang buong planta. So, proceed tayo sa water consumption. The portion of water used that is not returned to the original water source after being withdrawn. Alam naman natin na importante ang tubig para sa food and beverage sector. Mahalaga talaga to. Ginagamit natin to. It use water of food and beverage sector in cleaning. Ano ba yung mga nililinis natin? For example, yung mga equipments, yung mga ginamit natin. For example, in the kitchen. So, yung buong workplace kailangan linisin for the cleanliness. Kailangan natin linisin mga used na tools and equipments katulad na knife, mga utensils na ginamit na pinaglagyan ng foods para sa cleanliness. And after the cleanliness, for sterilization of equipment, mahalagang parte ng sterilization of equipment is tubig talaga. And also in the processing plants. Kaya in the food and beverage sector, we consume water. Next is generation of food waste. We generate food waste in the food and beverage sector. It is most in manufacturing facilities generated while trimming of edible portion of foods. Ayun yung mga food waste nagagaling sa mga food portions habang nasa manufacturing facilities pa. Manufacturing facilities or nasa production. hindi na tayo lalayo dito sa Pilipinas. For example, Benguet food waste. Ang Benguet, alam naman natin ang Benguet talaga ay malaking portion na pinagkukunan ng mga produce foods, vegetables ay galing sa Benguet. So, makikita natin sa balita na ang daming nasasayang. Carrots, cabbage, tomatoes, makikita natin tinotoast lang nila yun sa tabing daan. Sa tabing daan sobrang bundong-bundok na mga gulay ang nasasayang. So, yun yung food waste. Ang dahilan nila 'di ba ng food waste sa Benguet. So, kapag transport pa nila sa Manila, parang yung ma-generate nilang babalik sa kanilang pera, kulang pa sa production nila, sa pagtatanim nila, tinatapon na lang nila kasi pagdating sa Manila, bagsak presyo na lang ang mga gulay kasi more on exportation. Kaya ang dami talagang food waste na nanggagaling mula pa lang sa production. At iba pa yung pag sa market na kasi tinitrim off pa nila pag may mga nabugbog na part ng vegetables. It creates problem for the environment both in the action of throwing out the food and the demand it places or the environment to produce more. 'Di ba? Parang nagiging food waste, nagiging pollution pa sa environment kasi tinatapon mo lang 'yon, tas ang nasayang na tubig na pandilig from sa pagka-crop, yung manpower nasayang na, ang energy na ginamit mo sa pagpapatubig, ang tubig at mga fertilizers na ginamit, nasasayang ng lahat, tapos nagiging waste pa sa environment. Tapos magdidemand pa because food waste na nga, tapos magdidemand pa tayo to produce more. Example din ng food waste in the restaurant are the paper, first paper, yung ginagamit natin pang food wraps sa mga, for example, sa hamburger, yung wrap doon sa mismong hamburger. So, hindi naman yun pwedeng kainin. So, it's a food waste. Cardboard, for example, is sa pizza. Yung covering niya, yung box niya, tinatapon na rin. Glass, sa beverages. So, may, yung buong glass, nabibili naman yon, pwedeng ibenta. Paano yung mga nabasag na? So, saan yun mapupunta? Magiging waste na rin yon. Mixed plastic films, metals. So, foil, yung katulad nyo, plastics, parang it's a food waste. And organic waste ay ito yung galing sa mga vegetables na na-trim off na natin, yung mga hindi na pwedeng pakinabangan. It's a food waste. Wastewater or the used water from the washing, cleaning, and cooking. Nabanggit natin kanina doon sa waste, water consume water consumption ay mahalaga for cleaning, sterilization equipment, and processing plants. So, mahalaga yon, ginagamit. Pagkatapos ng gamit, ito yung tinatawag na wastewater. Wastewater or the used water from the washing, cleaning, and cooking. Yung washing, pagbabaldiyo natin halimbawa sa restaurants, paglinis natin, saan napupunta yung tubig na madumi? So, napupunta lang 'di ba sa kanal, and saan pupunta ang kanal? Saan ang connection ng canals, ng drainage? Sa rivers, sa sea, at sa bodies of water, which is nagiging it is an environmental impact comes from the food and beverage sector, as well as in the cleaning and cooking. Yung mga pinaghugasan natin, 'di ba, madumi na 'yon, may mga mantika. So, kung saan siya patungo, yung drainage na pinagpuntahan ng wastewater, nakaka-apekto to sa environment. At ito yung tinatawag na environmental impact.
Greenhouse gas emissions, or GHG. Greenhouse gas GHG emissions, gases trapped in the vents of the atmosphere that causes the warming of the earth. And people contribute in greenhouse gas in everyday life. Why? Because people use vehicle in their travel, and even in food, in making foods and beverages, they also contribute gases, because we use chemical, oil, and natural gas in making foods, also in making beverages. We can use fossil fuels for electricity, heat, and transportations. We also know that greenhouse gas emissions from transportations primarily come from burning fossil fuel for our cars, trucks, ships, trains, and planes. Livestock. The domesticated animal raised in agricultural setting to produce label and commodities such as meat, eggs, milk, and etc. We also know nowadays that the process of making agricultural is very differently. They produce labor, and the animals give us meat, eggs, milk, and etc. Sources of GHG in the livestock. GHG greenhouse gas emissions. Sources of emissions. Methane emissions. The sources of emission is enteric fermentations and manure management. Cattle, sheep, goats, pigs. Carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide emissions. The sources of emission is feed productions, manure storage, application, and dispositions. Carbon dioxide emissions. The sources of emission is energy consumption. Naturally, vegetation replaced by pasture and feed crops. Livestock contributes 14.5% of global GHG emissions, because sometimes people use chemicals to the livestock. That's why they contribute a global GHG emissions. Benefits of less red meats. White meats are less energy inputs than red meats in production process. It says that when we eat white meats, they get less energy than red meats. But you also know that if people But you also know that if the people did not eat any meats, you become tired and weak, and that because you're missing an important sources of protein and iron. That's people that give us more energy. The people who don't eat red meats generally consume fiber, generally consume fewer calories, less fats, and have a lower risk of heart disease and death. Forests and natural vegetations no longer replaced by pastures and feed crops. Least use of water irrigation for pasture. We need to decrease using of water irrigation for pastures. Relieve the pressures on the scarce land uses. We need to relieve the pressures on the land to help our animals. Reduce trends. Reduce packaging waste. Reduce packaging waste. Nowadays, people can buy online. We need the people can buy online, and sometimes we buy in we buy our own self in the factory, in the supermarket. Other company use packaging waste. We can reduce it, because when we reduce packaging waste, we can save a lots of money. We can develop our self-reliance and lead the environment. To reduce packaging waste in buying, we can take our own bags and container when we are shopping. We can choose reusable products. That's why we can reduce packaging waste. Vertical farming. Vertical farming nowadays is very popular. It is one of the fastest growing trends in food productions. There are health benefits that come with vertical farming. Fresher foods. It increases urban availability, pollution reductions, and no chemical use. Vertical farming also uses less water, grow plants faster, and can be used year-round, not just in winter seasons. The facilities also can, in theory, be built in anywhere. We use vertical farming to have a fresher food. Single-use plastic. We need to use a single-use plastic in our everyday life to help people and also our environment to become clean, because we all know that plastic is a cause of pollutions, and when the plastic burned, it gives a greenhouse gas effect. That's why we need to single use plastic to help our environment. Wastewater treatment solutions. We need to treatments the physical water, the biological water, and the chemical treatments and the sludge treatments. Buy local products. Instead of buying products in different country or in a different place, we need to buy local products. Why? Because it helps in our environment, because when we buying local products, we can decrease the vehicle uses, because when we buying in different place, we used to travel. That's why the can cause a greenhouse effects, or greenhouse effects in our solar system. That's why we need to buy local products, decrease our expenses. Conserve water. We can conserve water in our home or in different place to help our environments and also people. Because if we don't have water, other people, most of people or a lot of people can cause of sickness, because water is very important in our body. To the ways to conserve water is be mindful of running water. Fix a leaks as soon as possible. Perform routine appliances maintenance. In our home, we can conserve water by it in a good way. That's why we can conserve water. Use eco-friendly appliances. In conserving water is important because it keeps water pure and clean while protecting the environment. Conserving water means using our water supply wisely and be responsible. Use of eco-friendly appliances. There are many ways to reduce the environmental pollutions. We need to use of eco-friendly appliances, because in eco-friendly appliances, we can recycle the different products that we can already use. Example is the plastic bottle. We can recycle those bottles so did not scattered in different places, and to prevent the and to become clean our nature or our place. Recycle toothbrush, recycle plastic toothbrush, recycled plastic rugs. There are many things that we can recycle, that they give us more good, they give us a good results, and it helps people and nature. By using environmentally friendly appliances, we can help breathe cleaner air while helping our family and other people to become healthier and happier as well. Using them can be an ideal way to help improve the quality of our own life or other life. Furthermore, these ideal appliances can also help improve the economy too. That's all, and thank you.